Royal Heir, Book 3, Chapter 10, A Fox in the Henhouse. You halted the Balmont Bash in its tracks, but Barthelemy has just announced that that day will continue with a fox hunt.
A hunt is a Cordonian tradition dating back centuries. It is a true test of noble skills.
Sure, diplomacy, canop selection, and shooting the local wildlife.
I wouldn't expect an outsider such as yourself to understand the importance of such traditions.
Cordonia's queen is no outsider, and you owe her respect as your regent.
Perhaps, but our future queen must be raised to respect and participate in our country's customs.
I haven't been on a proper hunt in years. You'll have us, old greybeards, feeling young again, Lord Barthelemy.
Not greybeards, your grace, exemplars of Cordonian nobility. It is vital that our hair be raised to properly value these traditions, lest they be lost.
You're saying I can't raise my own daughter because you assume I can't hunt? I claim you have no evidence for, by the way.
I don't suppose you know what's done on traditional fox hunt, Queen Riley? For instance, how does a proper noble track their quarry?
You obviously use a scent hound. That actually is true in most places, but leave the poor defenseless foxes alone. Get a lowly peasant to do it for you. Use a scent hound. Everyone knows that a proper Cordonian hunt uses dogs. And I thought hunting technique was lost on the younger generations. Not those of us raising a future Cordonian queen.
Understanding the basics doesn't prove that you possess the requisite skills. Honoring tradition doesn't mean ignoring modern more, and so it will be a symbolic hunt. No foxes will be harmed. This event exemplifies what my leadership will bring to Cordonia. A deep respect for our history, alongside an understanding of our modern cultures and needs. We'll leave straight away. In fact, the horses are being prepared as we speak.
Liam and I can't just drop everything to be on an impromptu hunting trip. It wouldn't be safe to bring Amanda, and it takes time to find good childcare. You literally have 4 people around you. Let Maxwell, Drake, and them take them. Decent parents don't leave their kids to fend for themselves.
Luckily, I've arranged for Amanda to be cared for. I've renovated an old study into a state-of-the-art educational playroom. She will be quite safe under the watchful eye of my fleet of babysitters and tutors.
Fine, but only if someone we trust also stays with her. Savannah. Of course, I'll be staying back with Barty anyway, and I'm sure he'd love a playmate. Yay! Yippee! You bend down and hug Amanda close to your chest for a long moment. Liam presses a kiss to the crown of her head. We'll be back before you know it, my princess. Bye-bye, Amanda. Show those tutors who's boss. Stand reluctantly as Savannah takes Amanda's hand. They start off down the side hall with Barty in tow as the rest of the guests head out onto the grounds. Hannah catches your arm as you turn to follow the crowd. We can't let Barthelemy get away with making you look unprepared in front of the court. You sound like you have a trick up your sleeve. More like your sleeve. Come with me. Hannah leads you to a duchy, Ramsford's boutique. You might find it challenging to ride and shoot in a gown. The right outfit will not only make you look prepared, but it could give you an edge in the hunt. Do you think anyone else will be dressed up? I know at least one person. Hannah smiles slyly as she ducks into the changing room. She emerges a few moments later. Besides, this is the sort of occasion where standing out is better than fitting in. And I think I found just the thing to help you do that. She pulls a rich green vest, silky undershirt, and riding breeches off a nearby rack. This outfit will give you an advantage in the hunt. Let's take a look. Interesting, my dear Watson. Let's go. Equal parts glamorous and practical. It's perfect. You'll knock those foxes dead. No, we don't want that. Figuratively, I mean, we better get out of there, and before Barthelemy decides to start the hunt without us. You and Hannah find Liam, Drake, and Maxwell out near the stables. The other nobles mill about the grass, selecting mounts and preparing saddlebags. I hope we didn't miss anything good, like Barthelemy stepping in manure. Unfortunately not. Liam's eyes go wide as he catches sight of you. You smile and spin for him, the sunlight glinting off the gold details of your vest. Riley, you look incredible. Those foxes won't know what hit them. Speaking of which, do we know what we're supposed to do if not hunt foxes? Barthelemy just went over the rules. Basically, there will be a tracking challenge, a riding challenge, and a shooting challenge. Winners of each will be favored to win in the Master of the Hunt title. But you will also be evaluated on overall competence and style. Meaning, whether you win or lose the challenge, do it with a flair! We're starting with the tracking challenge. Barthelemy's had an artificial scent trail put down in the woods. You and your dog will have to follow it to the end. The hunter that gets there first wins. Wait, my dog? Ow! Not you two. On behalf of Duchy Ramsford, it is an honor to present Miss Wagadociousness, Lord Chester Beaumont. Maxwell waves his arms in a flourish, stepping aside to reveal a young bloodhound. His tail wags as enthusiastically as Maxwell's introduction suggested. Hey there, little fella. You crouch down to let the dog sniff your hand. He readily licks your fingers. After you've given him a few scratches behind the ears, he meanders over to Liam for seconds. Who's a friendly little guy, huh? Is it you? Chester is quickly distracted as Bucky and Daisy rush up to him in a jumble of lolling tongues and wagging tails. The three of them spare barely a moment to sniff each other before beginning to romp through the grass together. Oh my gosh, they're too precious. Chester may be adorable and sweet and amazing and basically the goodest boy to grace Duchy Ramsford and approximately ever, but he has one normally forgivable but currently fatal flaw. He's practically nose-blind. You're saying Barthelemy assigned me a scent dog that can't smell? He's setting us up to fail. Oh, Barthelemy's fighting Dury. At least it's a cute sabotage. I'm honestly surprised he didn't fill my saddlebags with spiders or something. Unless... He cast a wary glance towards the bag strapped over your horse's back. Hey Drake, you know how you have nerves of steel and adventurous spirit of a rugged mountain man? Yeah, I'll sweep for 8-legged stowaways, but you'll owe me a drink if I find any. He reluctantly begins poking through the saddlebags. After a few moments, he gives you a thumbs up. Certified spider-free. Around you, the other guests begin mounting their horses, their hounds sniffing the air and whining in anticipation as they catch the scent. Meanwhile, Chester tries to bite a butterfly out of the air, but stumbles on one of his overly large ears. Alright, boy, let's show Barthelemy why everyone roots for the underdog. Your group rides out into the forest, following Chester as he plots a meandering path through the underbrush. After a few minutes, the bloodhound stops abruptly and barks at a bird perched on a branch above your head. I'm pretty sure he has no idea where he's leading us. Maybe he needs another whiff of the scent cloth to get him back on track. Perfect! I was feeling a snack break coming on. We're on some kind of wavelength, Chesterino. Maxwell, we've been gone 10 minutes. I gotta load up on protein when I trek in the wilds, man. It's muscle fuel. Maxwell pulls something from his saddlebag as you lean down to wave a fox-scented cloth at Chester. Stare in amazement, so much jerky. That's not jerky, fam. Maxwell, I don't think your month's supply of trail rations is helping him catch the fox's scent. Your adorable bloodhound sniffs the scent cloth again, then resumes barking at the bird, without so much as pleading eye towards Maxwell's food. Since he can't smell it, I don't think it's hurting either, but we still need a plan B. I hear some voices not too far off. Maybe if we follow them, we'll find the trail again. After a few minutes of towing your distractible companion through the woods, you finally reach the source of the voices, Barthelemy and several other noblemen on their mounts.
Ah, Quinn Riley are fortunate that you stumbled on our little group.
Agree to disagree. Lord Barthelemy's right. Given your trajectory, seems your dog had you far away from the trail. You mean his dog.
Any true huntsman can instantly connect with a new hound, making the beast an extension of his senses, like my Rex.
Your dog is a greyhound. They literally have noses for the shit.
Nothing can stop him once he has a scent.
Bartholomew allows Rex to lead him forward, and the rest of his group follows. Your trails behind them, giving Chester a moment to find the fox's trail. Setting me up isn't good enough. He has to gloat about it too. You know Maxwell's food? Yeah, it'll come in handy. Open the package. I wish I could give him a taste of his own medicine, turn his dog against him or something.
Well, it would only be fair. He cheated, so the only way to level the playing field is for us to do the same.
Yeah, revenge mode, Riley, activate!
Yeah, just whatever trick you have up your sleeve, make sure it doesn't throw us off the trail again.
I have just the thing. Is Rex with the beef jerky. You take a handful of jerky from Maxwell and toss a hunk into Rex's path.
His ears perk up.
Hey!
You've got his attention, now what?
Wild beef chase. Throw another piece of jerky into the bushes beside Rex, and he moves to eat it. You lob a few more leading further down the trail, and Rex eagerly follows.
Not just any hound could detect with such abrupt swift. Well done, Rex.
That should keep them busy for a while. And look, Chester still has the fox's scent. He's really doing it! He can't get distracted by jerky if he can't smell it.
No one could turn such a disadvantage around like my wife can.
You set out after Chester as Rex, as Barthelemy, and their entourage disappear in the opposite direction. Soon you arrive in a wide, lush clearing. Chester lopes over to a tree with a fox painted on its trunk and barks, dancing excitedly around the roots. You found it. What a good boy. In the next moment, Bartholomew emerges into the clearing. His face flushes red when he sees you.
Impossible! This is your fault, Rex. See if you get to venison tonight, you miserable creature!
Oh. Hey, don't worry. He's already had his fills of treat today. Having your Rex. Maxwell discreetly fishes out another chunk of jerky and feeds it to the greyhound, who devours it happily. Bartholomew's face reddens further.
You!
Good show, Queen Riley. And with a young and experienced hound, no less. Very impressive. Chester and I make a good team, don't we, buddy? He jumps up to lick your shoe, bracing himself on your horse's flank, then flops into the grass in a pile of ears and wrinkles. Oh, he's all tuckered out from his big hunt.
Steph will bring him and the other hounds back to the rest while we move on to the riding challenge. The obstacles course set out between here and the manor will be a test of agility, flair, and your bond with your mount in equal measure.
Agility, flair, and animal kinship? This is my kind of challenge. We're going to ace it. Flair is basically synonymous with, Riley. As the nobles around you prepare to set back out, you hear a call from the edge of the clearing. Turning, you see a crow perch just beyond the tree line. It's Halloween. We have no Halloween books. There's not even a Halloween theme in choices. Liam, I think I've been spotted. One of Bartholomew's mortal enemies. That's right. The information we found in this office suggested he's afraid of crows. I feel some shenanigans coming on. You trot over to Bartholomew, fixing your face into a frightened expression. Bartholomew, I think I just heard something in the woods, just beyond that clearing. Something big. Since you're such an accomplished hunter, could you go check it out?
I suppose.
He urges his horse towards the spot you indicated, creeping forward between the trunks of the trees, and screams in terror when the crowd calls at his approach. Arr! Ah! Bartholomew flaps his arms around wildly, scaring the crow off and spooking his horse. The horse rears, dropping Bartholomew right into a puddle of mud at its feet. Good God, man, it's just a crow. Get a hold of yourself.
The crows are harbingers of death, destruction, bringing plague and ruin wherever their disgusting little claws alight.
Who says this shit? Other nobles nearby try to cover up their snickering. Whoops, I didn't mean to send you against such a terrible foe. I thought it was a bear or something. Surely you weren't so panicked by a bird, Lord Barthelemy.
Never mind that. How can I be expected to ride covered in this muck?
No problem, you stay here and get cleaned up while the rest of us do a riding challenge. You'll have to forfeit the challenge, but better than that than derailing the entire hunt.
Fine. I suppose you'll have to proceed without me.
Really? What a shame. See you back at the manor, Barthelemy. Dug in the reins, turning back in the direction you came, and set out on the trail. You gallop through the forest, weaving through the trees with ease. The drummings of hoofbeats surround you as your friends keep pace.
Woo, it's like we're becoming one with the wind.
I wish all noble parties had a ride through the woods break. The trees start thinning as you approach the manor.
Remember the press will be ready with cameras as we arrive.
It sounds like we have a chance for Riley to demonstrate her riding skills with flair. You urge your horse to run faster, preparing to strike a daring pose as you leap from the trees, but find a giant tree trunk strewn across the path. Leap elegantly. Pull up on the reins, guiding your mount into a perfect jump over the lawn, bursting into open ground. You stand and stretch a hand into the air as you reach the peak of the leap and the cameras flash. What an entrance, Queen Riley. It has to be the best we've seen. Agreed, your flair for the dramatic is almost as impressive as your riding. All in a day's work for the Credonian noble. The press are the judges for the event, so I think that means you win. No, okay, that settles it. This is definitely my kind of hunting activity. Queen Riley, I've never seen an ensemble that exudes nobility and practicality like that one. Could we get a few close-ups? Of course. The press continues snapping pictures as the rest of the nobles arrive. Eventually, Barthelemy emerges from the woods in a fresh suit, his expression still sour. Do you think he carries a backup outfit everywhere he goes? I don't know, but maybe we should spill more stuff on him to test the theory.
It's now time for the final challenge, shooting.
Everyone dismounts, hands their reins to a fleet of stable hands, and follows Barthelemy to an area of open grass, set up with a archery target. Wait, we're not shooting guns?
Bows are a more traditional option now.
It's easy, arch. Barthelemy takes a vicious-looking bow adorned with spikes off a table arrayed with weaponry. Barthelemy's bow. Is that a genuine thorn bow?
Indeed, made of heart oak. A classic weapon of ancient Cordonian design.
Right. And what'll the rest of us be shooting?
Those of you who do not come prepared with the appropriate equipment of their own may borrow from the Ramsford Armory.
He selects a simple, well-worn bow from a pile of similarly basic weapons and hands it to you. Thanks.
Those are the bows I learned how to shoot on.
And my weapon is older than all those combined. An accomplished hunter's aim is not determined by his tool.
Maxwell frowns as his father moves off for some target practice.
This isn't right. We have tons of other, better bows he could have let people use.
Then he'll actually have to use skill to win. Well, couldn't Riley still use one of the better bows? She is an honorary Balmont after all. They technically belong to her too.
Whoa, yeah. Say the word and I'll go get you the biggest, fanciest, most super traditional bow I can find.
Upgrade your bow for an advantage in the shooting challenge and an extra chance to outshine Barthelemy. The best equipment will give me a best chance of beating Barthelemy and doing it in style. Maxwell rushes off, disappearing into the manor for several minutes. Eventually, he returns with a large ornate bow of classical design. Let's do this thing. Well, we couldn't see it, bigger and blown up. Weapons in hand, you and your friends step up and begin the contest. Barthelemy begins with a practice shot that hits just as the edge of the bullseye, and the crowd applauds. What a way to start the contest. That shot will be hard to beat.
A lifetime of practice can make a master of anyone, my friend.
Liam steps up next, drawing his bowstring, and takes careful aim. What do you say? We make this interesting. 50 push-ups say I get a better shot. You know you can go to the gym if you want to work out, right? You don't have to lose bets to me. Let your aim do the talking. Liam looses confidently, and his arrow plunges into the red ring, narrowly missing the center of the target. Looks like it's a bullseye or bust, Walker. Drake takes the bow and adopts a warrior-like stance. He takes a deep breath and then shoots. His arrow pierces the target, a scant inch from Liam's, just a hair further from the bullseye.
Oh, come on, so close. Hey, but you'll get him next time, buddy.
It was close. So close I'll knock down to 40 push-ups. You'd better get started.
Settle up later. It's Maxwell's turn.
Maxwell raises the bow Barthelemy gave you earlier. You hear a snap as he pulls the string and it splits in two.
Whoa.
Guess Chester wasn't Barthelemy's only plan to screw you over today. Figures. He's thorough, but it still won't be enough.
This is probably for the best. Archery and Maxwell are like oil and water. If those broke stuff, then when they mixed.
I'll go next. You step up to the range with a smirk, the sleek bow in your hand. Bartholomew eyes are frowning, but doesn't protest. Ornate bow.
You've got this, Riley. Channel the intrepid huntress who lives in your soul.
Shoot Bartholomew's weapon. Split Bartholomew's arrow. Shoot 3 arrows at once. Split his arrow. Take careful aim and let the arrow fly. It shoots through the air and cleaves Bartholomew's bullseye in two. There's a moment of shocked silence where the crowd erupts in cheers and applause. Liam spins you into a celebratory embrace. That's my wife.
Woohoo!
Someone tell me we got a picture of that. Queen Riley, you must have been a master markswoman in a past life. I do have a bit of a huntress in me. He turned to Bartholomew. That was a glimpse of your future. You step towards Bartholomew, lowering your voice only so he can hear him. I'll turn you into a pincushion like the target if you keep trying to steal my daughter.
I won't be intimidated.
Quick, look, there's a crow.
If you're truly such a talent, you'll have no trouble shooting this.
He grabs an apple from the table and tosses it into the air. Shoot it. With equal measure of speed and nonchalance, you shoot an arrow and skewer the apple midair. It drops and bounces in the grass at Bartholomew's feet. No trouble at all.
Fine. Declare Queen Riley the winner of the shooting competition.
Yes, just one more reason to think twice before crossing me. You head back towards the stables and see Savannah emerge from the manor with Amanda toddling along at her side. Amanda nearly stumbles, but Barty helps her stay upright. Amanda reaches out as soon as she sees you. You and Liam rush over to sweep her into a bear hug.
Mommy!
Hey, baby girl, did you miss me as much as I missed you? I noticed how we don't make any big deals about when she said her first word. Now we just don't care. Kinda sad.
Mommy?
What's that, Amanda? You miss me more than ever? More than you miss Daddy? You had fun with Savannah and can't wait for her to babysit you next Saturday? You had fun with Savannah? I guess Liam and I could come up with a date night if you insist. Just as long as we get you all to ourselves on Sunday. She and Barty had a ton of fun today. I'm sure he'd love to have another play date, right?
She's funny. It's just...
Give Amanda a fond kiss on the forehead before your reunion is interrupted by Bartholomew calling the guests to attention. It's cute, their friendship.
With all 3 challenges behind us, the hunt is officially complete. I have prepared one final activity for you before the master of the hunt is announced.
He waves towards the stable, and a servant appears, leading a fox on a leash. Oh, it's adorable.
The spirit of this cruelty-free hunt, I hereby pardon this fox, which represents all foxes whose lives were spared this day.
He picks the fox up, who squirms and wriggles uncomfortably in his grasp. Lord Bartholomew, you had a lot to say about tradition today. On that subject, how would Crown Regent Bartholomew lead Cordonia in the future while respecting its past?
I'm glad you asked. As this was with the hunt, I would ground my leadership deeply in tradition, but I'll make allowances for progression. It is only through truly understanding the past that we can see the way forward.
How could he speak so many words yet say so little? I thought that was pretty much the basics of politics. It is. And what about you, Queen Riley? What do you have to say about the importance of tradition, the Cordonian way of life? I say, a tradition can be important so long as it doesn't hold us back. We should all acknowledge and appreciate Cordonia's history, but never let it get in the way of progress. A wise leader knows when to leave ancient, outdated rules and traditions in the past. Glanced pointedly at Barthelemy, who narrows his eyes at your answer. I couldn't agree more. If we always followed old rules, our purses and shoes would have to match. I shudder to think of a world without tasteful coordination. It's as true as in politics as it is in fashion. I'll be sure to quote you from that. It makes it in the article.
Along with a picture of me and the noble creature, I assume.
Barthelemy holds the box up for more pictures. You notice Amanda's eyes drawn towards the large pasture on the far side of the stables. Horses graze peacefully in the late afternoon sun. Do you like horses, Amanda?
I think she wants to go meet one.
That would be so precious. Not to mention the press she'd steal from Barthelемy's attempt at fox wrangling. So, you're saying we should upstage Barthelemy and get adorable baby photos? Plus some good old-fashioned hangout time with your favorite people? Housey. Real? Okay, Amanda. This is your chance to collect an exclusive photo of Amanda for your photo wall. Sounds like a win-win-win.
Housey?
Carry Amanda towards the pasture with Liam and your friends as you draw near. Several members of the press break off to volley on. Oh, Princess Amanda is going to meet the horses. No way we can miss this.
Wait, look, the fox, I'm holding her like a baby.
A glance over your shoulder in time to witness Barthelemy trying to turn the fox over, but she yelps and clamps her teeth around his wrist.
Oh, unhand me, mongrel!
You sure you don't want a photo of that? Tempting, but I'll stick with the princess. A few stranglers remain behind, trying to aid Barthelemy with his struggle with the fox, but most of the party shifts their attention to you. You take Amanda through the gate into the field. Several grazing horses raise their heads, eyeing you curiously. Amanda points to a dappled gray mane. Or mare, sorry.
Yappa.
She looks like a nice horsey. I bet she'd let you get closer. You walk towards the mare, who takes a few steps towards you and turns her. Amanda hesitates for a moment, but then reaches out and strokes the horse's nose. Good job, Amanda. So gentle. That's Daddy's brave little girl. Amanda beams and points at the mare.
Apple.
You've communed with your new friend and learned her name? Apple is a fine name. Actually, her name's Maxwell. Apple, yeah, definitely Apple.
Apple.
Yes, I did. You know what? Shut up, okay? Just... I was gonna go with a... But then it just came out... I don't know why, okay? Shut up. It's been a long, bloody fucking week, okay? Now that we're all been formally introduced, maybe Amanda wants to go for a ride. It will be safe as long as someone is in the saddle with her. You know what? I never let Daddy go for a ride with, his daughter much. It's always me and the daughter, so... It's only fitting for her daddy to do the honors. As a princess, it's important for you to respect all of Cordonia's creatures, not just human ones.
Papa B?
He turns to the horse, offering her a formal bow, humor in his eyes. Noble Apple, thank you for your service on this day. We are in your debt.
Thank you.
I didn't know riding lessons came with a side of manners, but I like it. Liam climbs on Apple's back, and you help nestle Amanda securely in front of him. He tugs on the reins, guiding Apple into a slow walk. Amanda squeals in delight. You hear claps and cheers from the other side of the fence, where the press and the guests stand watching. Cameras flash as photographers capture the moment. She's a natural!
We'll have her out on the polo field in no time.
Amanda has the press and the court wrapped around her tiny finger. After a few more minutes of riding, Liam brings Apple to a halt in front of you, and then dismounts.
Was that fun, Amanda? Oh, see.
How about we thank Apple for the ride with a little treat, like an apple. Drake grabs a plump Gordonian ruby from a crate behind the fence, then pulls out a pocket knife to cut off a slice. He hands it to you. Palm flat, so she doesn't nip you on accident. Like this. You lay Amanda's palm face up on your own, then place the apple slice in her hand and offer it to Apple. The horse eats it happily, nuzzling Amanda with her nose.
Yeah.
I think you've got this on your own, baby girl. You let go and back away a few paces, leaving Amanda propped against Apple for balance. You hear the snap of a camera shutter from behind you. She's so adorable. She's getting big. I think you're going to want this one for your family's collection. Liam picks Amanda back up, and leaving Apple one last pat on the neck before joining you and the others at the fence by Anna. She shows you the picture. Can't believe how brave she was. The horse is so much bigger than her, but she's barely hesitant. I can believe it. She gets that from you. It's true. We do rocks of the Soxers. Do you think anyone would mind if we sent this to every household in Gordonia? I'm sure the country would thank us for sharing the cuteness.
Apple.
Amanda reaches for the horse, and you walk her back over. She clumsily pats Apple's mane. Can you say bye-bye to Apple?
Bye-bye.
Barthelemy clears his throat as you return from the stables, and you all eyes turn to him.
If we're finished with the distractions, the time has finally come to reveal the victor of today's events.
It's not you.
Your master of the hunt is Queen Riley.
Yes, my collection of titles grows.
That's right, Queen Riley of Gordonia, champion of the realm, master of the hunt. Yeah.
That's Amanda speak, for we're proud of you, Mommy.
Congratulations, Riley. You truly earned it. Queen Riley may have shown some noble proficiencies today, but a far more important contest is yet to be decided. What matters most is not which of us is better hunter, but which of us is better equipped to raise the hair. And that's why it's imperative that the court sees how Riley and Liam are handling their parenting duties.
Meaning?
It's time we paid a visit to Duchy Victoria.
Really? Barthelemy is bringing the fight to your doorstep. Can you thwart whatever tricks he has up his sleeve? Find out in the next chapter. The guy is so cringe. Let's just put it that way. Alright, without further ado, thank you all for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Head down the description below, links on social media, Discord if you like to support me and my content. In case you're wondering why this is late and you haven't read the community tab of our YouTube, go check that out. And if you have, then go check it out because I updated it just a little bit ago. Yeah. Anyway, catch you all later. Peace out.